on the 26th of October from Svetlana Nelson. That says, hoping for your input on our last chat. Yo, Dave. I found your account and simply couldn't help but be mesmerized by your passion for life and fondness of travel.
Wow.
Do you have a passion for life, David?
She does not know who you are.
No, I missed that.
I am Svetlana, and I share your passion for discovery.
Oh.
I'd love to hear about your recent venture through Southeast Asia and share travel stories. What do you say? Excited to connect. Svetlana.
Who does she think you are?
Is she hoping to maybe hitch a ride with you from Asia back to North America, perhaps?
I have no idea.
Svetlana sounds like she's from Scandinavia, though, somewhere.
Well, she would be from
Russia. She's from
Slavic.
Russia. She's obviously Russian.
A Slavic country,
yeah.
I would think.
Sure.
Yeah. A Slavic country, I think. But yeah. But
she
I don't know.
Has noticed your passion for life and
I think I have
excitement for discovery.
Think that I have a passion for life. When you get to be my age, your passion for life is that you still have it.
Okay.
So I do have a passion for that, even though it may not show.
Okay.
I
do. At the time of this recording, it's almost noon.
Okay. Oh, I don't.
Yeah, although it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't have. No,
we should have started way earlier.
Yeah.
Right, Dave?
We should have started earlier, but we didn't.
It's 1 p.m. Atlantic.
I'm still on water and coffee.
I'm having a water myself. It's early. Still.
You're gonna leave me hanging.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. This is welcome. This is this is a podcast. This is due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman. The podcast that makes a cold, dreary November day still a cold, dreary November day. There's
better.
Nothing we can do.
Does.
Not a thing we can do about that.
Yeah.
Especially when your friends leave you to drink by yourself.
Yeah, sorry.
Listen, we were supposed to start 54 minutes ago, and Dave was half an hour late. And
I was.
That's so unlike him. But
I know,
we changed the time this week. We were in the morning, so
I know. I thought maybe
drew
we'd
him for a
moved.
loop.
I thought the clocks had moved or something. When all of a sudden I got a phone call from anyway.
Well, there's a reason.
Foreman and I are waiting for him, and we're like, "Are you getting concerned? Like, this is very unlike him. He's never
Well, no,
like
Rachel,
30 minutes late. Did he get in a car accident or something? I'm texting.
Just
no
to clarify,
reply.
Rachel was concerned for your well-being. I was just angry that you were being a me.
I know. I was being
You're wasting our time.
The reason that we planned an earlier recording time is because we now can.
Yeah.
Forman, why?
Yeah, because we are officially all in the same time zone.
Yes,
Yay.
we are.
Thomas,
good.
when you ask from a previous episode, did I hear at the start that Forman was moving back? And Howie, when you said, I heard the announcement that Forman is moving out of where he is now, and sad, here is to your new adventures with the family, because Howie heard that on my other show's podcast.
Ah, yes.
And Marie said, and this is very nice, Marie, I was listening to Forman's other podcast and heard he's leaving Melody. I know she's on mat leave, but she's so upset about it. Where is he moving to, and where else will I be able to follow him? I love your guys' podcast, but it's not long enough for my travels, which is where I listen to it in my car, and I refuse to support that other station where you guys were together, as I believe you, in the end, all left for other reasons you're not saying.
Oh.
No, we can say why.
No, we said the real reason.
I think
Pretty
we
much
said it wasn't anything. When Dave and I left, it was nothing malicious. It was nothing, nothing bad. We were just, I was done, and then Dave decided to be done too.
I think we've all had surprisingly candid explanations for the leaving.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, it wasn't. But I support you to support the new people who are there, Leanne and TJ.
Absolutely,
I think they're doing a great job, and I fully support the new show, and I think they're doing a great job. So have at it.
Yeah,
you don't have to boycott on our behalf.
No, but there will be somebody new in Halifax because, yes, I'm sitting in my new kitchen, surrounded by absolutely nothing else in St. Thomas.
Whoa.
St. Thomas, Ontario. You're
25% more
Forman
Formans in St. Thomas.
100% more Formans in St. Thomas
100%.
now.
The Forman family is back.
We're sure back, but our stuff is somewhere else in Canada, and it's not here. And it was supposed to be here 2 days ago, and it might be here tomorrow. We really don't know.
I hope
Wow.
so. You guys arrived like
almost
a week ago now.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have some, hopefully you have some clothes, and underpants.
Yes, the underpants are very important.
Very important to have underpants.
We each have a suitcase
lots of
of the
laundry.
clothes. We kept the clothes that we wear most often in suitcases.
Okay.
Most of them, though, are still in transit somewhere.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, I mean, every move has its hiccups, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And right away, we had to. Here's where I'm really salty, and I do not miss Ontario. Because we had in Nova Scotia, your license plate and your insurance and everything for your car gets renewed every 2 years.
Right.
Okay.
And so that came up at the end of September 2023.
Right.
We needed exactly 1 extra month of license plate sticker renewal time in Nova Scotia to cover us. And you can only buy it in 2-year increments unless you get a paper temporary permit to stick in your window and get a special other number, and you do all this stuff, and you go into Access Nova Scotia, and they write all this stuff out for you.
Okay.
So we had to do that, so we only had until October 31st to get new license plates, new driver's licenses, everything you need from the devil itself, Service Ontario.
Oh, no. Oh.
Oh, so how does Service Ontario compare to Access Nova Scotia?
When Access Nova Scotia, when a Nova Scotia government-run service exceeds yours, you know you done f***ed up.
Okay.
Doug Ford, listening?
No, he's not, and he should be. I went to three different locations for Service
What?
Ontario.
Why?
Because you have to.
What? You can't do everything at one?
No, you can't.
I thought that was the
Why?
point. They service, all the services are at one location. You can go to any Service Ontario.
Stop winding Forman up. I don't know why.
I thought I
You're
love
winding
winding
him up.
Forman. This is the best.
No,
This is the best
no.
content.
Access Nova Scotia figured it out. Service Ontario is the worst. You
What did you have to
cannot
go-
do everything at one location.
Why not?
Well, starting with the
I thought you could
location,
now, even the health cards.
the location in St. Thomas
Mm-hmm.
is privately run, not run by the government. Why would a government
How can
service
that
be
be?
run by the government? That would be ridiculous. Let's have a private company run some of them, but not all of them, and we won't tell you which ones they are.
How can a private company run
Exactly.
government, like an office that issues government IDs and stuff?
They don't. They can't issue you a new Ontario driver's license. They
What?
cannot issue you a new Ontario health card.
Then what's
you have
the
to go
point?
to a government-run one, like the one, say, in Elmer is run by the government.
Oh, my.
But you can't go there to get your driver's license. You have to go to the drive test center in London.
Oh, and that's a nightmare lately, the drive test, and it's so busy.
I don't need a test. I have a license.
Yeah.
I had a license. I have one. Just switch it over.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian driver's license.
Oh, my God. Can you not do any of it online?
No, not when it's this. Oh, God. We didn't even need the driver's license. All we thought we were going to need right away, the time sensitive, was to get the license plates.
Yeah.
Right.
And we even
Yeah.
looked online to try and figure out which
Sure.
step in the process do you need first. And it said you didn't need an Ontario driver's license to get an Ontario plate. Yes,
Oh.
you do.
Liars.
So
Yeah,
I
but
call
did the
up
private
Ashley.
place tell you that? Because maybe they don't know what's up.
I know. So, well, I called up Ashley after leaving the St. Thomas Service Ontario in
my
an
gosh.
absolute huff.
Yes.
Said, I'm coming to get you. You're getting in the car. We're going to the drive test center in London, and we both need licenses.
I love it.
I could totally see him leaving in a huff.
So
Peel out of St. Thomas,
Yes.
in a huff.
In a
roll
huff.
into London with just a stack. If you ever think you're going to Service Ontario with every piece of documentation you could possibly need,
Mm-hmm.
turn around, go home, and get more. You don't have enough. You're going to need something else.
What else do you
Every
need?
time,
They
no matter
give you
what.
the documentation. That's where you go to get your
Go like-
documentation. How can that be? Like you're there getting it.
Load in your entire filing cabinet into your vehicle and bring everything. Because we get to London and they say, okay, great. Well, I need a piece of ID. Right. It's the Nova Scotia's driver's license. That's what you need to change over. Great. What's one other piece of photo ID? You know, like a passport. Back to St. Thomas we go, and back to London we go again.
No, you didn't.
Yes, that's the only option.
Wow.
So we get the Ontario driver's licenses,
Oh, my God.
the piece of paper ones, and then am I going back to the St. Thomas Service, Ontario? God, no. I'm going to Elmer.
Yes.
Okay.
What does the St. Thomas one do?
Good question.
What are they good for if they can't give you any of that?
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
Okay. Okay. I feel like even though and I know look, I'm not a big fan of Service Ontario. I'm really not. And I've
Nobody
Find me
is.
one person who is.
Yeah,
I've spent
literally.
many-
Even the people
many
who
a-
work there aren't thrilled.
I've spent many a sad birthday at Service Ontario. I know what it's like.
Everybody has.
Yes.
Everybody has.
Yeah.
But
It
I
is like
feel
what a downer. What a
I-
downer
I-
to do on your birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like though, Forman, that some of this may have.
No, it's not.
Some of it
Don't
must be your
you
fault.
dare.
Some of it has to be your fault.
I'm staying out of that one. Good luck. Have at it, Dave.
I go into
not
Elmer
touching
now.
that.
So here's Forman and Elmer with a bigger stack of documentation at the counter. There's
He's learned
one
his lesson.
One very, very kind and helpful woman working that counter.
Oh, good.
And then an ever-growing lineup behind Forman
Yeah.
of people also wanting services.
Imagine
boy.
being behind
Yes.
the guy with a stack of documentation.
So you don't want to be behind that
But
guy.
this woman has never had to change over license plates and
Oh,
things like that
no.
from another province before. So she's on hold with two other people she knows at other Service Ontario locations trying to figure out how do you do it. She eventually does. I also got my health card done there. Thank goodness.
Good.
Wow.
Good.
So got license plates, got health card, have the Ontario driver's license. Couldn't do it for both vehicles. Could only do it for one because one has to be in Ashley's name and she has to do it in person unless I have some sort of signed sworn letter I can do it on her behalf.
Oh, my
so
gosh.
she's got to go back herself, which she does with the children yesterday. So they get their health cards. Everybody gets new health cards. We get the other license plates. But somehow, for some reason, I'm still in the memory of that woman. So they say to them, "You must be married to the guy that came here yesterday."
Oh, no.
And she can't
Here's
even
the rest
explain
of the
it.
family.
Ashley can't even explain it either. But somehow it came up in conversation of what I eat. And Emily pipes up.
What you eat.
I don't know why. She pipes up. She's only 6. That, yeah, all Daddy eats is beer and vegetables and sushi.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that you had sushi.
I eat sushi, I eat vegetables, and I eat 10 beers a day.
Wow.
It's like, oh, no wonder he was so angry when he came in here.
The angry kid, yeah.
10 beers a day. Wow. You're going to end up in the hospital. Good thing you got a new health card.
Yeah. Welcome back. This is due to Underwhelming Demand, a podcast with Dave, Rachel, and the recently returned Forman.
Back in Ontario,
podcast,
back in
by the
St.
way,
Thomas.
Back in St. Thomas. The podcast that is, unlike the Beatles' new song, surprisingly good.
Oh, boy.
It's fine. It's a fine song.
It's fine. It is.
I haven't heard it.
Why, I mean, to say surprisingly, I shouldn't. It's the Beatles, and why would I say surprisingly? Anyway, I don't know. Okay.
All right.
You haven't heard it?
No.
It came out last week. Come on, get
No,
on that.
I
you
just,
gotta
I'm
get on
like,
that.
I hibernate in my basement. I don't leave. I don't go out anymore. I am
You're
a homebody.
You're a
Yeah.
riot. You are
Yeah.
just so much fun.
I did go out for Halloween though. I love trick or treating. So
Sure
we
you
went
did.
out and because that was
Did
our.
you get dressed up?
We went not for Halloween night, but we went to a Halloween party on the weekend.
So you do go to parties.
Oh, Oh.
Parties,
Did you
yes.
poop the party?
No, I didn't poop at the party. And I wasn't the party pooper.
Because you kind of sounded like it right before you said that.
I know. I'm such a downer now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
now that I don't work out of the house, it's hard to get out. It's hard, if you work at home, that's difficult. Anyway, we went to a party and Jeremy and I dressed up as Price is Right contestants, but a lot of people didn't know who we were. They were like, "Who are you?" Like our kids were like, "What's the Price is Right?" I'm like, "Okay,
boy.
everybody's parents will know." And then some people knew and got it right away because Jeremy bid $1, Bob, and I was like 437, which was basically whatever numbers were easiest to tape out in black tape, block letters.
Got it.
That's what I was. Anyway, so we had the name tags and the signs, and that was our costume.
Okay.
Not everybody got it, but we did dress up.
Very original.
Well, I thought it was actually. Was it not? What were you? What'd you do, Dave?
Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do a costume this year, actually. No costume. We're in the midst of a little upheaval here at home, so it was an unusual Halloween for us.
I bet you that to me means you didn't even hand out candy.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
did you hand out
Yes,
Pringles
always,
again?
Always, and they go quickly because, as you know, we always hand out full-size chocolate bars, not those cheap
I
little
thought you
ones.
handed out Pringles. That was your thing.
Well, I couldn't find any this year.
Oh.
I couldn't find any this year, but we still had the full-size chocolate bars, and they were all gone.
Of
I think
course.
we are well known in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
yeah.
People, they like the full-size houses.
Sure.
So I went trick-or-treating with the kids because I love trick-or-treating with the kids. And Jeremy could take it or leave it. He was going to stay home, and then we ended up going out. So we just left a bowl on the porch, and we said, take two. We're like, whatever. If some kid dumps the whole thing in their bag, so be it. We're going out.
Okay.
So we went out with the kids, and then we went out with there's probably 10 kids and 6 parents. There was a lot of us, which was fun. So after Halloween, of course, the kids, it's a free-for-all with the candy. And on Halloween day and night, I say to the kids, you can eat whatever you want, however much you want. Today's your day. You eat whatever you want. That's fine. But this year, because every time they eat candy, I find wrappers and actual garbage all over the house for weeks.
Yes, stuffed
They're
in
just
places in their
picking-
bedrooms.
Yep.
Yep.
Stuffed in the
Oh.
couch cushions.
Oh, wow.
There's wrappers everywhere.
And how old are your kids now again?
6 and 10.
6 and 10.
It's always like that. They have a granola bar. They leave the wrapper out.
Okay.
You know.
And what are you
I hate
expecting?
it. I'm like, I shouldn't have to go around the house and pick up actual litter and garbage from my home, but I do because the kids are. It's a pigsty. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Well, if you're going to, so did you? Are you going to give us a cautionary tale how you solved this problem?
Yeah. Here's how I solved it.
Because if you've solved the problem, you have no idea how bad that problem becomes when your children become teenagers.
Oh well, hopefully this will nip it in the bud.
It amplifies.
With dishes, spoons.
We've heard that in detail about Charlotte on
We
a
have.
previous episode.
I remember my sister as a teenager we would have no water glasses in the kitchen, and then my mom would go up to my sister's room and be like, here they are. All of them are.
All of
There's
them?
10 water glasses in your room, right? So I said to the kids, for every wrapper I find lying around the house, I take a candy out of your bag, and I get to choose which candy it is. Chips, full-size bar, whatever I want. And they were like, oh, no. So that has nipped it in the bud slightly. So far, Kendall owes me 3. And Julia will find out when she gets home from school today that she owes me about 4 or 5 because I found a bunch of garbage that Roxy, the dog, was getting into and trying to lick the old, the wrappers for the chocolate bars, which isn't great. So I've gotten myself a few already. So they don't love it. But last night they were like, okay, I got to put this in the garbage. So they remember sometimes. And then there are still, but I can't imagine how bad it would be if I didn't threaten that and they actually did try and put some of it in the garbage, Anyway, so it's worked in my favor so far.
So far.
I'm taking all the Reese's Pieces.
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, yeah, but hang
Obviously.
on. How is that working in your favor if the junk is still there? You're getting lots of candy, but
They don't get to have it.
Yeah, you get the candy.
Taking it.
You're getting all the candy.
Well,
Eventually,
yeah.
you'll likely get all of the candy eventually.
Yeah, it'll even out probably at the end.
Yes,
when they've eaten a ton of it.
And But that doesn't solve any problem other than you get lots of candy.
Well, no, they are putting some stuff in the garbage. So the more this happens, the more they'll remember to put it in the garbage because they don't want to lose more candy as it dwindles down and down. Right? I thought that was a brilliant idea.
I think that works. Dave, you're really unimpressed by this. I think that's a good idea.
I'm not impressed
for every
by
candy,
it at all.
for every wrapper I find, I'm taking a candy. I'm hoping this will instill new habits so that this will continue when there isn't any Halloween candy and they have a granola bar and they actually throw it in the garbage. That's what I'm hoping. Anyway, if you have any other tips, let me know because I'll try those too.
Well, we went through all of it. I mean, I went through this whole stage too with a 6-year-old who became a 10-year-old who then became a teenager and is now almost a 17-year-old. And I can tell you that I'm going to have to say probably a little neater as a 10-year-old than as a 13-year-old. Then the 13-year-old was neater than the 16-year-old. So that's why I'm totally not impressed with it.
Because you know it's only just going to get worse later.
Because I'm just not impressed.
You know this isn't a long-term solution.
If you've solved something that, to my mind, most parents of teenagers and elder teenagers have not been able to. Because I know when I was a kid, I was a pig. And when I say I was a pig, I was a slobby pig.
Yeah, I'm sure my mom, I know she cleaned up after us and we would leave things out, dishes or whatever, and not bring them back to the kitchen. And I know she did that. But now I'm trying to, we'll give this a go. And so far it's been a few days and it's worked okay.
A few days, case closed.
Now let me ask you,
it's worked better than it hasn't than not doing it.
Yes.
Okay. And when the candy that you're taking, are you consuming said candy?
No, I haven't yet. No.
Oh, what? I thought that was the whole point.
Well, it will be. We had actually so much leftover candy. Whatever I'm taking from them, I've just put in another pile because we had a ton of leftover candy anyway.
Okay. All right. Well,
we have way too much candy in our home.
Do they know where the leftover candy is?
Yes. Yeah. But they're more concerned about their stash and their haul that they got.
Okay.
This year was a bigger year because Julia, we went farther than we ever did. When we were leaving the house, she said to me, "Should I bring 2 pillowcases?" I said, "No, I think when one's full, we're done for the night. I think one full pillowcase is."
All right. Well, you update us. So let me know.
Okay.
But not
we'll
just
see how it works in the long term.
the ensuing episodes of the podcast, but several years down the road, you let me know how this works out for you.
Okay.
Yes, and you'll know listening because Dave and Forman will probably bring it up, and she won't want to talk about it
all the time. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that's just slightly less annoying than Mariah Carey this time of year. But only...
I don't mind Mariah Carey.
That's pretty annoying.
We played her on November 1st at our home.
Very annoying.
Of course you did.
Of course you did. We are Dave, Rachel, and Forman. And in case you hadn't noticed, we don't have a sponsor on this particular episode of the podcast.
That's right, yeah.
Which means somebody might go without a Christmas gift this year. So,
Rachel might have to forego one of her several southern vacations.
That's right.
I don't go on.
Yeah,
Okay.
several of them. Anyway, if you would like to sponsor this fine podcast, and we use the money for the sponsorship money to keep the podcast going, you can get a hold of us.
Yes, you can. DaveRachelForman@gmail.com, or you can message us on any of our Instagram or Facebook pages.
Absolutely.
Either the show pages or our personal ones, whatever. Get a hold of us however, and we can send you some information. Sponsorship begins at $75 an episode, so
Cheap.
pricing for everybody.
Hey, Forman just moved back to within the same geographical area as these two, just for the purposes of this podcast, just to improve the quality of this product.
That's exactly why.
Perhaps we'll be able to do some things in person from time to time.
Yeah,
as well.
we've been talking about that, doing it in person.
Exactly.
Sure.
I feel I'm very invested in you guys moving back. I don't know why. I feel like I shouldn't be that invested, but I feel like everything is as it should be now. Like Forman's back.
That's right.
Other than we're not on the radio anymore, so that's different. But not that I want to do mornings anymore. I don't. But I feel like everything is as it should be. Like we're almost back to normal. That's what I feel like.
Almost.
Hey, there was
you
no
feel
other
like that?
reason for us moving back other than this.
Okay, well, good. I'm happy to hear that. Well, this is sort of normal. I have a few headlines for you today.
Headlines.
Love headlines.
I know. Today sort of sounds silly on this episode of the podcast. But today, I guess
this
today really,
episode.
today works. Today works.
Sure.
These are actual headlines. I don't make these up. I don't have to.
No,
these
we
are
don't.
Real headlines. Ready?
And thank you to you for sending us some, because we
Some
do
people.
get them from time to time. You can email daverachelforman@gmail.com or
Yep.
DM us anytime if you have a headline for Dave.
Yeah. And if you really love these headlines, you can buy us a coffee too. Right? You
Yes,
can
buymeacoffee.com/underwhelming.
Okay.
Somebody did buy us 5 coffees while we're on the topic of that. Earlier this week, Laura bought us 5 coffees,
Thank you,
and
Laura.
she said, keep on doing what you're doing.
Okay.
So thank you, Laura.
All right, Laura, this headline's for you.
Okay.
First headline for Laura. Sheep break into greenhouse and eat 600 pounds of marijuana.
That's an actual headline.
What happened to them? I need more than just
Yeah.
a headline.
It was probably bad. I don't know. I have no idea.
Sheep on the hunt for 600
really
pounds of
no.
Doritos.
That's right. Sheep break into Taco Bell. There are many
Oh,
more.
my.
A leftover Halloween headline. Pittsburgh, among the best cities in the U.S. to be a vampire.
Real headlines.
Like, what parameters
Why?
are they setting?
Yes.
But it's only among the best. There are more. I don't know.
Is it because
which ones they
Pennsylvania
are.
kind of sounds like Transylvania?
Maybe that's it. That could be it. A student caught speeding after his driving instructor wanted to show him it saves very little time.
Headlines.
What?
Go ahead and speed, but you'll see. Yes. All right. A new headline, sub-segment of headlines. These are
Okay.
headlines around the world.
Oh,
around the world.
Okay.
Around the world. in
International
headlines.
headlines.
International
New,
headlines.
subset.
Sure.
Okay.
That's right. Here we go. Probe launched after Chinese. That's actually a funny headline all on its own.
Sure is.
Probe.
Say no
launched.
more.
Probe launched after
To
Chinese.
which planet?
Yes. Uranus, usually. Probe launched after Chinese beer giant Tsingtao's employee found peeing in tank.
Oh,
That's an actual headline.
Oh,
it was
my.
fueled by his pee.
You gotta go,
gross.
I guess. Yeah, I know.
That's very disgusting.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
First, I got caught up with all the probing on Uranus, and then
Yeah, I
you
know.
hit us with
I
that.
know. I hit you with that.
Okay.
I went on the. Yeah, never mind.
The beer's a bit tangy.
Yeah.
Ew, 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 ew.
There's a little-
Ew, stop.
I don't know what.
Nope.
Ew,
Moving
ew,
on.
ew.
Moving on.
Tourist around the world. International headline. Tourist arrested in Lisbon after asking for a grenade instead of a pomegranate.
Real headlines.
Like by accident?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I,
On
can
Espanol.
I have one of those grenades? No, pomegranate.
What-
Yeah,
okay,
I, don't-
okay.
I have no idea. He's arrested, not me. Dutch headwind championships canceled due to high winds. Well, they had to see that
Headlines.
coming, didn't they? I mean,
What's a headwind championship? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Don't overanalyze the headline.
It's just the headline. That's all you need.
Okay,
That's right.
sorry.
That's all
I'm
you
ruining
got.
it. Okay.
Italian woman wins court case to evict her 2 sons, aged 40 and 42.
I
actual
heard
headline.
about that. She had to go to court to get them out of her house.
Named Brennan and Dale.
Is that what their names are? I don't know.
Probably.
Oh, wow. What lazy bums. But she raised them. Like, how did you
True.
raise 2 bums like
True.
that?
Yeah, I
It's
don't
your
know.
fault.
Yeah.
She used to leave them $20 for pizza, and they would always ask, "What if I want wings? It's
That's
not
right.
enough."
Not enough. Never enough. To Australia, international headlines. The Wiggles demand council stop blaring hot potato 24/7 at the homeless.
Real headlines.
Seems very cruel.
What?
That's cruel and unusual. Like, that's cruel. Don't. Don't play hot potato.
So, okay, because I have heard that some places will play annoying music to keep people from loitering.
Yeah, well,
and that's the song they
that would do
chose.
hot potato, and the Wiggles are not happy.
By the way, have you seen the Purple Wiggle?
No.
The new one?
No.
Oh, boy, he's hot.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
The new
He's
Purple
You
Wiggle?
know,
You might call him a hot
He's a hot potato.
Hot
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're
Usually he's got muscles for days, boys. Yeah.
Yeah. You know you're a mom when you find one of the Wiggles hot.
Just saying. You would too.
And you know you're in the right job
sure.
when you're casting new Wiggles members and you do something for the kids and something for mom.
Absolutely.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
One more international headline. Man not allowed to travel overseas because his surname is too rude for his passport.
What? That's mean. He can't help it.
It starts F-U, then there's a dash,
Oh.
and then canard. So you put it together, and yeah.
Fou canard?
Canard.
Well, yeah, well, that's not what it looks like, but that's
Oh.
how maybe it sounds. Yes, that's his name. That's in case you needed to know.
Let the guy travel.
Yeah, the poor guy. He
His
can't
plight
help
in
that.
life is already bad enough.
That's right. Yeah,
Anyway,
exactly.
off to Florida. Here we go.
Yes.
Okay.
Time to go to Florida.
Great.
Florida man posts sign for cops outside his house saying he doesn't live there.
That's an actual headline.
Worth a shot.
Don't look here.
Yeah, worth a shot. Florida woman borrows alligator for birthday photos.
Of course. he does.
Obviously.
Real
I would
headlines.
too if I was in Florida.
My birthday.
Like, did she think it was the camera? Did she think it was a balloon? Did she think it was the cake? Or she just wanted to be in the picture with it?
I don't know. I
Just
don't
holding
know.
it.
All of the
Yeah,
above.
All of the above.
Yep.
First ever Florida Man Games will,
Oh.
will feature beer belly wrestling and evading arrest obstacle course.
Perfect.
Headlines.
Is that being held in Florida or is
Yes.
a different state
In
doing
Florida. No, in St. Augustine, I believe.
Oh,
Yes.
wow,
It's a
okay.
Florida
Oh, yeah.
thing, yeah.
it? Well, at least
You-
they're embracing the,
Yeah.
the
Sure.
reputation.
Dave,
Sure.
I did read about that, and you missed one of the most fun events.
What's that?
Who can steal a catalytic converter the fastest?
Okay. See, that's not bad. Florida police ticket Florida man driving booty patrol truck because
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
That's
That's
an actual
exactly what I
headline.
That's
expect.
See, I
exactly-
told
Booty
you.
patrol.
I told you it wasn't me driving
Florida-
that car in Dartmouth.
Florida police, Florida man, because Florida.
Yeah.
Florida
That's right.
man dressed as banana peels away from cops during public urination arrest.
Yes.
That's a great headline.
Real
Thank you
headlines.
for whoever wrote that. That's
Love it.
wonderful.
That's like almost the perfect.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Perfect Florida headline.
Florida man arrested outside Florida Olive Garden after eating pasta belligerently.
How do you do that?
Headlines.
Well, have you ever been to Olive Garden?
Yes. I
In
did.
Florida?
Well, I did. I wasn't arrested, so apparently I wasn't belligerent
You're
enough.
not eating it right.
No.
Florida man arrested for watching Harry Potter
Hey,
Oh, yes,
with
right.
a stuffed, with a
wink.
stuffed Olaf toy at
Ew.
Target.
Oh boy,
That's an actual
that's,
headline.
Oh.
that's disappointing.
Florida man or woman, did you say?
That's disappointing. That's what you say about that.
Why? Because he has a carrot nose.
That's disappointing.
Oh,
I don't even understand. I don't, Rachel.
Foreman's the
Don't
one that
examine-
said,
I
"Is it a
don't-
man or a woman?" I didn't say that.
I said Florida man.
I didn't know why he said that. That's I was guessing.
Does nobody feel sorry for Olaf?
Yes,
I
that's
mean,
why it's
poor Olaf.
disappointing.
she's disappointed on Olaf's behalf.
I'm
Attention-
disappointed that yes, on
Attention
Olaf's
Target shoppers, please.
put down the Olaf
Put down Olaf.
and exit the store.
Well, he does like warm hugs.
Oh.
Okay, one more. I don't even know why I'm doing one more. Drunk Florida man drops his pants and yells, "Where's my weapon?" to arresting deputies.
Real headlines.
I was gonna say you should have ended on the Olaf, but that was better. Bow.
That's disappointing.
Poor Olaf.
Yes, it is disappointing.
I've never been so disappointed at someone.
Yes, well, he's a kid stuffy.
Like you guys
Leave him alone.
turn around you walk into the toy aisle. Here's a guy with Olaf, and your reaction is, well, that's disappointing.
Aren't you disappointed in him?
Did you
'Cause I
see
am.
that? Jeremy says, I sure did. I was disappointed.
This is what your life has become.
Yeah.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman. And thank you to Rachel. There was a post that I think it appeared on our socials
Yes.
about what do you do or what are you doing when you're listening to this podcast?
Yeah,
And-
I was just curious. What are you doing? Are you in the car? Because when we were on the radio, it was during the morning and it was rush hour, so people were in the car
You knew
typically.
yeah.
But it's a podcast, so you can listen whenever you want now. So what are you doing? We have tons of comments, and I just love I love to learn how you are consuming this content.
I think keep them coming. You know,
Yeah,
why don't we
keep 'em
save
coming.
those?
Sure, and we're
Why
gonna.
not?
I think that's something that we can discuss at length. What people are doing when they're listening to the podcast. So that's coming.
Didn't we
Like,
do
I'll
a bit
listen to
one time?
podcasts.
Like with we made a little jingle, like, what are you looking at?
Yeah,
And they
we
would
did
just
that.
call and say, what are you looking at? Well, the back of another car.
Yeah,
We did that.
that was
we did
that
do
was actually good.
Yeah.
Somebody said Tom says I drive down the street headed towards Dave's next week. I don't know what that means. Tom, do you know a Tom that's coming to your house next week?
No, but
anyway.
thank
Okay.
you for the warning.
Thanks for the warning.
got it.
Chantel says it's my Saturday morning ritual. Christine says in the car and at work. Marie says in the car. Brenda says at home. Sharon says I'm usually at work or driving between home and work. John says in the car while driving. The time flies by. So thank you very much. Gail says I typically watch on YouTube. Watching the reactions between the three of you is priceless. We are on YouTube if you want to look us up.
Yeah, if you would like to watch us on YouTube, you can do that.
Search for
Absolutely.
Due to
And
Underwhelming Demand.
How we read at the start of the show from Marie wondering, where else can I hear Forman? Because this podcast isn't long enough for Marie's drive.
Right.
You're driving longer than 40 minutes. I just wanted to clarify that I am still on the radio in Halifax.
Yes.
I'm still with Megan, who's in for Melody, who's off on mat leave. So you can hear that on the Radio Player app live from 5 till 9 Eastern every weekday.
But is it really live?
just,
I mean, Forman, if Forman's doing a
He's
radio
doing it live
show,
from here.
Yeah, in Halifax, and he lives in St. Thomas, how much of what you listen to on the radio is really live? Sorry, I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, he has to get up
shut
an
up.
hour earlier now. That kind of sucks because you have to get up super, super early.
Not as
'Cause it's
bad
an
as
hour ahead.
There was a guy temporarily filling in on our other station, our rock station, Surge 105, and his family and everything is in a different city. So he had to go back, and he's still helping out and filling in. It was only temporary in the first place. He's still doing live Halifax morning radio from Vancouver,
Oh, like middle of the night.
like midnight when he has to
Ouch.
start.
Yeah, that is.
Ouch.
Holy cow.
That is tough to
So
do.
it could always be
Oh
worse.
boy. Well, Ginger says she listens. I've listened to you on my way home from the office on Tuesdays. At the beginning, I used to listen to you at the office, but I was LOLing too much out loud, and I had to stop.
Wow. Well,
Amanda
thank you,
says, I
Ginger.
listen at work. It's a great way to get things done with lots of laughter. So anyway, there's tons of comments. Thank you so much for listening to us. We're just glad that you listen at all. And it's curious where you consume your content. I love it.
Well, this kind of fits in both categories because I, thank you for listening at all and commenting on everything we talk about. In one of the last couple of episodes, we were talking about how much of a pain it is to buy and sell anything on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Right.
So Lisa says, we drove from Yarmouth to Halifax on the weekend to pick up a beautiful refinished sideboard for our dining room. It was worth the drive, so we made it a weekend away, and we ran into friends from Ontario and had dinner with them.
Oh.
It was a win-win. Yarmouth to Halifax is 3 hours.
Whoa.
Wow.
You must be staying the whole weekend.
Yes. I wouldn't
Why
go.
is it-
That's like going to Barrie. I would never do that.
Yes.
Plus, you
Why
got
are
to
there
drive
so-
through Toronto if you go there.
Why are
I
there
wouldn't
so
go to
many-
Windsor. That's 2 hours.
Yeah. Why are there so many mouths in Yarmouth, Dartmouth? Why are there so many mouths?
Oh,
up
it's
there?
not mouth. It's Dartmouth,
Yeah.
Yarmouth.
Yeah, but I look at it
Yeah.
and go, what's with the mouth, guys?
You got Yars and Dart's mouth.
You've already gone through the upper Sackville, lower Sackville.
Yeah.
Might as well get to Dartmouth and Yarmouth.
I forgot about Sackville.
Oh boy. Ginger also sent us an email because I was talking about a couple episodes ago revenge bedtime procrastination because you stay up too late because
Yes.
you didn't have enough free time in the day and so you're just scrolling or doing whatever.
Right, yeah.
She says, Rachel, you are so not alone. It's 1:15 a.m. and I have to be up to start work at 8. I have to be up
No.
soon. Thankfully, it's an at-home day and I'm watching YouTube videos even though I've already listened to the episodes in the car. I know I will regret it in a few short hours, but I never seem to learn. I hear that.
What absolute
Thanks for
torture.
watching our videos, though, Deb. Or,
To
no,
do that
Ginger.
with a double dose of us.
Yes.
On top.
Double
That's
dose of us, yeah.
some kind of hell.
That
Deb
is
sent, which is why I called her
serious
Deb. Deb sent 2 emails for Forman, actually.
Okay.
Deb says, hey guys, Rachel was really noticing Forman's accent, especially in the podcast on October 31st, last episode. I just wondered if Ashley and the girls have picked up the Down East accent as well. You guys are awesome. I haven't noticed that Ashley has acquired one.
No. Barely. She still has held on to her accent from Saskatchewan, and combined with a few choice East Coast words, makes it a real scramble grab bag of accents that she's now talking with.
Perfect. Plus, you both have that St. Thomas thing that happens there too. You know, you know you
St.
have
Thomas
that.
accent?
Yeah, that St. Thomas thing. Yeah, It's a
Small town
thing.
accent.
Yeah.
Deb also says, listening to Forman talk about his youngest daughter getting car sick, because you mentioned that. She could either wear a C-band bracelet purchased at any pharmacy or put a chain on the back bumper that drags on the ground. It really works. I had to do that when I was a kid. I always
Put a
wondered what
chain on the back bumper and drag it on the ground.
Don't they have those like rubber strips that kind of drag on the
I
ground?
don't.
How
you
is-
can get stuff like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you
How
can.
would that work? So explain the physics of that. And also, we
I don't
bought
know
the
if it's
little
a chain.
wristband things, and they do nothing.
Oh, that's too bad. I don't know if it's a chain, but I've seen the things
Well,
that drag on the ground.
I think you. I think you were on the right track when you just carry lots of vomit bags.
Drag those on the ground behind the car.
Yeah.